It feels like we're all running a marathon these days, you
Yeah.
know?
Right.
Like we never really stop.
Right.
And being a parent, oh my gosh, it's like you're in that marathon,
Yeah.
but you're juggling flaming torches while you're sprinting?
It is a lot.
Seriously, you're expected to be like a master of every single thing.
Uh-huh.
Employee and chef and chauffeur and teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, at the end of the day, find the energy to be patient and present with your kids.
Yeah, the energy, that's the hard part.
It's like, where is it?
You're exhausted.
So no wonder so many parents are just feeling completely drained.
Oh, absolutely. We hear all the time about burnout in like high pressure jobs,
Right.
but parenting, I mean, it is incredibly rewarding, of course,
Oh, yeah?
but it can definitely lead to that same level of exhaustion, right?
Yeah.
And in fact, there's a whole body of research that's dedicated to understanding this thing called parental burnout. Yes, and so we're diving today into a study from the International Journal of Clinical and Health Psychology that really shines a light on this issue and explores a potential solution called cognitive behavioral stress management.
CBSM. Okay.
Yeah,
Sounds, I don't know, maybe a little clinical, a little bit.
I know.
But hey, if it can help parents find a little more peace in all the chaos,
Yes,
I'm all ears.
I am. It's actually very practical. Think of it as like, a toolbox filled with strategies to manage all those unique stressors that come with being a parent, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
The toolbox analogy.
Rulock's analogy. So let's define the problem first before we get to the solutions.
Sure.
How does this study define parental burnout?
Okay, so they describe it as a combination of several factors.
Okay.
Emotional and physical exhaustion, first of all.
Hmm.
A sense of not being effective as a parent,
Hmm.
feeling emotionally detached from your child, and even starting to view yourself negatively as a parent.
Wow, it's heavy.
It is.
It's more than just feeling tired, right?
Absolutely.
There's like your whole sense of yourself as a parent is just like kind of eroded.
Exactly. And unfortunately, it's incredibly common.
Really?
Yes. The study actually found that parental burnout prevalence ranges from about 3% in the UK to almost 9% in the US.
Wow.
And for parents of children with chronic illnesses,
Yeah.
that number jumps to a staggering 36%.
That's heartbreaking. I mean, it makes sense though, right?
Yeah.
The added stress of managing a child's illness on top of everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, it really highlights how important it is to find ways to, prevent and address this.
Absolutely. You're so right.
Yeah.
And the study goes on to detail some of the serious consequences of parental burnout,
Okay.
not just for the parents themselves, but for the whole family.
Uh-huh.
We're talking about potential impacts on physical and mental health,
Yeah.
increased conflict with your partner, and in some cases, even the risk of neglect or violence toward children.
Yeah. That's a really sobering reminder that parental burnout is not something to take lightly.
No.
Yeah. It has these ripple effects, right? That can impact the whole family dynamic.
Sure. Yeah.
So, okay, it really underscores the urgency of finding effective interventions like this CBSM program.
Right.
So the researchers specifically looked at how an 8-week CBSM group program could help reduce burnout symptoms.
Yeah.
Okay, so walk me through this CBSM program.
Sure.
What does it actually involve?
So essentially, it combines cognitive and behavioral techniques
Mm-hmm.
to equip parents with better stress management skills.
Yeah.
Think of it as like retraining your brain and your reactions to stress.
So instead of just feeling overwhelmed by everything, you're learning how to navigate those challenges in a more constructive way.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
And they cover a range of strategies in the program.
Okay.
One key technique is called cognitive reframing, and it involves identifying and challenging those negative thought patterns that can spiral when we're stressed.
Yeah.
For example, instead of thinking, I'm a terrible parent because I lost my temper, you might reframe it as, everyone makes mistakes, and this is an opportunity to learn and grow.
Right. So it's about shifting your perspective and giving yourself a little grace.
Exactly, exactly. And they also focus on practical skills like anger management, coping strategies, and assertiveness training,
Right.
which is all about setting healthy boundaries
Yeah.
and communicating your needs effectively.
So it sounds like a pretty holistic approach addressing both the mental and emotional aspects
Yeah.
of stress.
Yes, and they also incorporated relaxation techniques like meditation
Oh, okay.
to help parents find moments of calm amidst the chaos.
So it's not just about giving you tools to deal with stress, but it's also teaching you how to, recharge and take care of yourself.
Right.
Did they find that this approach actually worked?
Yeah.
Did it reduce those feelings of parental burnout?
The results were incredibly encouraging. The study found that the parents who participated in the CBSM program experienced a significant reduction in their burnout symptoms compared to the control group. And what's even more promising is that this reduction was still present 3 months after the program ended.
So it wasn't just a temporary fix. It seems like the parents actually learned skills
Yes.
that had a lasting impact on their well-being.
Yeah.
This is really giving me hope that parental burnout doesn't have to be an inevitable part of the parenting journey.
I agree. It's really empowering to see that there are concrete steps parents can take
Yeah.
to manage their stress and reclaim their joy.
One thing that really jumped out at me in this study was the link they found between reduced stress and increased self-kindness. Can you talk a bit more about that connection?
Yeah, I think the connection is really at the heart of what makes CBSM so effective.
Okay.
It's not just about like managing all the external stressors, you know? It's about shifting your internal dialogue and learning to treat yourself with more compassion.
Oh, so instead of like beating yourself up for every little mistake,
Yes.
you're learning to be your own cheerleader.
Exactly. Exactly. And that shift in mindset can be incredibly powerful.
Okay.
You see, self-compassion, it acts as a buffer against perfectionism, which is often a major contributor to parental burnout.
That makes so much sense. It's like when you're constantly striving for this like impossible ideal of being the perfect parent,
Yeah.
it's like setting yourself up for failure.
Right.
And then you're bound to feel just exhausted and inadequate.
Yes, absolutely. And CBSM helps you break free from that perfectionism trap.
Okay.
It teaches you to embrace your imperfections, to forgive yourself for slip-ups,
Yeah.
and to focus on progress over perfection.
It's like giving yourself permission to be human.
Exactly.
We all mess up sometimes, especially I think in the pressure cooker is parenthood.
Right. And when you can acknowledge those mistakes without judgment,
Yeah.
it frees up so much mental and emotional energy,
Oh, yeah.
and it allows you to be more present and engaged with your kids,
Uh-huh.
which ultimately leads to a more positive and fulfilling parenting experience.
So it's not just about feeling less stress.
Yeah.
It's about actually enjoying parenthood more.
Precisely. Yeah.
Yeah.
CBSM helps you shift your focus from what you're doing wrong to what you're doing right. It helps you celebrate the small wins and find moments of joy amidst the chaos.
I love that. It's about reclaiming the joy of parenting even when things are tough.
Yes, and it's about building resilience.
Okay.
CBSM equips you with the skills to navigate the inevitable challenges of parenthood without completely losing yourself in the process. It's about learning to ride the waves instead of getting swept away by them.
Okay. I'm sold. But like, how does one actually go about developing these skills?
Yeah.
Is it something you can just like learn from a book?
Right.
Or do you need professional guidance?
There are some fantastic resources available,
Okay.
including books and online programs that can introduce you to the basic principles of CBSM and self-compassion. But for many people, I think working with a therapist or joining a group program can be incredibly beneficial.
That makes sense. Having that support and guidance
Right.
can make a big difference, especially when you're trying to shift like long-held beliefs and behaviors.
For sure. And it's also a great way to connect with other parents who are going through similar challenges.
Yeah.
There's a sense of community and shared understanding that can be incredibly healing and motivating.
So for any parents out there who are feeling, burnt out and overwhelmed, the takeaway here is that there is hope.
Yes.
There are proven strategies like CBSM that can help you reclaim your well-being and rediscover the joy of parenting.
Absolutely. And remember, asking for help is not a sign of weakness.
Yeah.
It's a sign of strength. You deserve to feel supported and empowered on your parenting journey.
Sounds like this study has some pretty powerful implications for parents everywhere. It's not just about reducing stress.
No.
It's about transforming your entire approach to parenting. I'm curious, were there any specific findings that really stood out to you? Anything that surprised you?
One of the most compelling findings, I think, was how CBSM really seemed to foster this sense of unconditional self-kindness in the parents.
Oh, okay. So you mean like being kind to yourself,
Yeah.
even when you feel like you've messed up.
Exactly, yeah. It's about recognizing that you're doing the best that you can with the resources you have and that you're worthy of love and compassion regardless of your, perceived shortcomings.
That's such a powerful message, especially in a culture that I think often glorifies perfection
Right.
and pushes parents to their limits. It's like we're given this impossible standard to live up to.
And that constant pressure to be perfect, it can be incredibly damaging. It can
Yeah.
lead to, feelings of inadequacy,
Yeah.
guilt and shame, all of which contribute to burnout, right?
Yeah.
CBSM helps you break free from that cycle.
It sounds like it's almost like a radical act of self-care
It is.
to embrace your imperfections and treat yourself with kindness.
Yeah, it is in a way. And
Wow.
the ripple effects of that self-kindness, I mean, they're incredible. It not only benefits the parent's well-being,
Right.
but it also creates a more positive and nurturing environment for the entire family.
So it's not just about surviving parenthood.
No.
It's about thriving, both as individuals, but also as a family.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
Yeah.
When parents are able to manage their stress and cultivate self-compassion, it creates a more harmonious and joyful home life.
This has been such an eye-opening conversation.
Good.
It really feels like CBSM could be a game changer
I think so too.
for so many parents out there. Where can our listeners go to learn more about this? Are there resources available to, help them get started?
Absolutely, yes. There are many, many wonderful books and online programs that
Mhm.
offer guidance on practicing CBSM and cultivating self-compassion.
Mhm.
And of course, seeking support from a therapist or joining a support group
Yeah.
can provide valuable personalized guidance.
It sounds like there's a whole world of support out there just waiting to be tapped into.
There is. There really is. And I encourage every parent listening to explore these resources.
Yeah.
And find what resonates with them. Remember, you deserve to feel empowered and supported on this incredible journey of parenthood.
This deep dive has given me so much to think about.
Good.
And honestly, a lot of hope.
I love that.
It's so empowering to know that there are tools and techniques out there that can help us, navigate the challenges of parenting with more grace and resilience.
I agree. It's a reminder that we don't have to do this alone.
Hmm.
There's support available, and we can learn to cultivate that inner strength and compassion we need to thrive as parents.
Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us today. This has been a truly valuable conversation.
It's been my pleasure. And to all the parents out there, remember, you are amazing. You are doing a great job, and you deserve all the kindness and support in the world.
Beautifully said. And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into parental burnout and the power of CBSM. Till next time, remember to be kind to yourselves. You've earned it.